A perfectly normal eyeball is about to almost pop, and you'll never guess how. Don't try this. Ronnie Taslim pulls his lower lid as far down as it will go. His eye turns a nasty shade of red as he looks up, and with 3 fingers slowly presses the lower section out of the socket. With his eyeball bulging halfway out, he rolls his upper lip back like a shirt sleeve to reveal the full eye, and you'll never guess what happens from there. The entire eye is an angry red at this point, but instead of bursting and rolling down his cheek like I thought it would, the eye somehow turns normal looking again at 1 minute and 40 seconds. Ronnie is somehow able to alleviate the intense pressure, causing his eye to fill with red fluid, and stuffs it back into its socket before any lasting damage is done. My question, aside from how he is able to do this to begin with, is how many more times does he have left before his poor eye gives out and gushes all over the camera? A man makes his way down the street without any clue as to the danger that's about to come straight his way. Everything looks as ordinary as possible, just another day on Stoke Newington High Street in London. There's no possible way you can predict what's going to happen next in this video. It's way too random, so even if you can tell me what direction the threat is about to come from, then I will be satisfied. He makes it past this cafe at 10 seconds, and literally 1 second later the entire roof comes tumbling down in a choking cloud of dust and jagged debris. Bricks litter the street just a few steps from where he just was. If he had done anything besides walk on by, like tying his shoes or looking in the window, then he would have been struck down on the spot with no hope of surviving. I mean, it really couldn't get any closer. The heel of his foot is literally still in the shot as the bricks begin to tumble. Only a psychic could have ever guessed the way this video ends. The news is pretty boring until something totally unexpected like this happens, and you'll never guess what it is. 2 anchors are having a chat when their background gets bizarre.
Well, it was really nice, and I've been very lucky because it's looked after by a fantastic medical team, fantastic consultants and nurses.
Ordinarily, I would say this is 2 different shots edited together. However, the crowd seems to stay the same as the man disappears. At 4 seconds, you can see the individual is crossing from left to right. They come out from the column soon after the man disappears, which indicates this was all one continuous take. I'm not sure where this video was taken, but it looks like an open-air seafood market. A giant fish on the end is bigger than any of the others, and has been attracting onlookers all day. If this person had simply purchased it, or moved on like everyone else, then this video would never need to be analyzed by me. Instead, they tap it twice with the corner of their smartphone, like it's the tire of a used car. The second tap is close to the eye, which I think triggers a nervous system response. It was completely motionless before, and its gills were not moving, so I don't think it was truly alive. Still, they should have kept their hands off the merchandise. I wonder if the store owners made them pay. Anyway, here it looks like the fish actually manages to get the phone into its without a doubt slimy mouth. So they should probably just give up and get a new phone along with a new dinner. A YouTuber named Stromedy continues to catch bizarre encounters on his drone. This time he drives out 3 hours to a random field to see what's out there. He and his friend Ashton are expecting to find bears, but instead they chance upon a man walking all by himself, who immediately breaks into a run through the snow upon being spotted. They follow him for over a minute while he tries to hide. Then, in an unexpected twist, he blasts the drone out of the sky.
I can even hear it. How far away is that?
Yo, I think he hit it.
Yo, he just hit the drone.
Bro.
Dude, what the?
It's
Yo!
black. It just went black.
Guys, the screen just went black.
The muzzle fire looks like it could be special effects, but let me know what you think. Stromedy believes that this man was trespassing and took out their drone to avoid getting followed and reported to police. If this is real, then they most likely will not be able to catch him because his face is fully covered and they never find his car or his hideout. Got a notification from my smartphone app in the middle of the night, writes a Reddit user on r/creepy. A lot of people are saying that something is wrong with her eyes, like this person has the black eyes associated with a specific paranormal sighting, though it could simply be too much eyeliner in my opinion. What I'm more concerned about is the way their hands are behind their back. Kind of like they could be carrying something they intend to use on whoever answers. What do you make of this encounter? Paranormal or downright creepy? I say, why not both? You know it's going to be a good video when the license plate has been covered up, and check out the dual exhaust. Those pipes look like the perfect place for some snakes to hide. Keep your eyes on them because you're about to see something crazy. Okay, so that was a bit of misdirection, but you have to admit you did see something crazy, and I bet you didn't guess getting run over was how this video ends, and neither did the poor person recording. This must have been at a car rally based on the crowd. I guess the driver was so excited being the center of attention that he didn't check his mirrors before flying into reverse. I really hope they are alright, but I don't see how that's possible, considering how fast this souped up SUV was moving. A family is crossing the border from Texas into Mexico when this SUV gets on their tail and shines a light at them in a ploy to pull them over that they didn't fall for. The family knows this vehicle belongs to a group of outlaws who collect money from any American tourist unlucky enough to cross their path, so they speed back to the border with the SUV close behind. They make it back to safety, but somewhere along the way, they have this strange encounter that everyone was too distraught to notice at the time. Maybe the grainy dashcam video is to blame, but as one commenter points out, it almost looks like this dog literally teleports into the shot at 29 seconds. At 27 seconds, you can see both streets are empty, except for a man and his bike, and then 2 seconds later this dog appears out of nowhere, and doesn't come into focus until it's halfway across the street. I guess it could have emerged from the street corner, which was hidden by the truck in front, but however you want to look at it, you may never expect for a car chase in Mexico to end with a possibly teleporting dog. In this video, two planes appear to be carelessly flying way too close to each other for almost a full minute, and I don't know why. I can't believe this would be planned, but at the same time I can't believe none of the passengers on a commercial airliner are screaming if this is happening. I've never flown a plane before, but I know that you're way too close when you can see what color shirt the pilot of the other plane is wearing. Someone tell me what's going on here, because it looks like total chaos in my opinion, but also possibly planned, like maybe a formation for an air show or something. A creepy goat stands on two legs and stares ahead with beady black eyes. Reddit is trying to figure out if this is a statue, or is this a live animal trained to be as scary as possible. Its eyes kind of look expressive here at 9 seconds, and its ears somewhat move here, although that could just as easily be camera movement. Kid Amy 23 is filming random scenery in the car when they drive by this weird mysterious figure that is more of an after image than an actual person. A rare sighting of a ghost driving out of Cleburne, Texas, as she puts it. It certainly could be a ghost, but for some reason I feel like it could just be a mannequin or something that somebody set up in the window to freak people out when they drive by. And guess what? It worked. A YouTuber named Dylan Richardson is teaching his dog how to speak when his creepy next door neighbor, who is apparently annoyed by the barking dog, decides to stare at everyone through his window instead of knocking on the front door. The neighbor could have mental problems because he is looking into this home with no shirt on despite the cold weather. They chase him away, but he literally vanishes around the side of the house without a trace. No camera editing or anything. That's when Dylan's friend gets this idea. I guess this neighbor wanted to get frostbite more than he wanted to get caught. I don't know how he could possibly manage to perfectly burrow under the snow in 3 seconds without leaving any footprints behind. So I'm gonna say this creepy neighbor video, while strange and entertaining, is made up. Green Gables is the name of a fine dining restaurant in Jennerstown, Pennsylvania. The 100-year-old building is said to be haunted to the point where one worker would start recording with their phone whenever they felt something was wrong, and one night they were right.
And I don't know, something doesn't feel right about this place. Like it's I can't even describe what it feels like right now. Like, this is just... What is that? Nope, 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 nope.
A shadowy hand definitely just extended across the waist of the statue in my opinion. It doesn't look like a trick of the light or anything like that. These creepy situations are exactly what this century-old haunted estate is known for, so I think it's real. Oh, and one more thing that's weird. Shortly before noping out of there, the employee notices a deep slice across the length of its stone throat. Is this another paranormal sign, or just normal wear and tear? A YouTuber named Backpacker Tampan and his friend Tom go ghost hunting in Indonesia. They want to explore an old hotel, but to get there they have to go through some scary woods and cross a narrow bridge over rushing waters, a bridge with some sketchy areas missing. A few planks too many if you ask me. When they get inside the hotel, they find themselves in awe of the sheer size of the place and somehow get split up. This room in particular absolutely refuses to stay in focus, and it feels to him like someone could be near. And someone in the comments says that a shadow person is hanging around the doorway outside of the room 4 seconds later. It's nothing more than his reflection if you ask me. Weird but not paranormal. But then he records movement across the doorway at the exact moment he thinks Tom is near.
Maybe it's downstairs. Oh, very dark, I can see. Tom?
Whatever this is we're looking at, it isn't Tom. It seems to follow him from floor to floor wherever he goes. Eventually, Tom is found, and together at that moment, they sense a third presence standing next to them.
Okay, we might gonna record here, I think. Can you do it with your phone? Recorder.
I think it sounds like editing because you can hear a bass line if you listen closely, like it's part of a song.
Can you do it with your phone?
Tell me if you think this really happens, or do you think it was added later?
Can you do it with your phone?
Something keeps coming into this creepy front yard out in the countryside, something from the edge of the woods. He's seen it once before, and soon, he sees it again. It looks like an extra tall, extra dimensional creature with a single horse-like leg bent inward at the knee. The upper half looks like that of a man. It looks like it could maybe be a trick of the light from the single streetlight in his yard. However, his camera is relatively still when it happens. The creature moves left to right, but his camera isn't moving enough to blame it on the lighting in my opinion. Some friends look kind of bored when a flying apparition decides to give them something to do. They follow it and don't see anything, just darkness. I was ready to write this off as special effects, but keep your eye on this empty space. At 13 seconds, you can just barely make out the head of someone standing there if you look close. Cue the chills. This YouTuber is exploring a scary abandoned place in India when their adventure goes wrong at 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
நம்ம ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க டைம்ல நம்ம விக்கி கிட்ட கேட்போம். விக்கி விக்கி வாங்க.
It looks like a real ghost sighting at first, but somebody walks right in front of a light, so that could be what's making the shadow figure appear. Still, it's bizarre enough to make them leave, and when they look back, they see a ghost in the window. The light passes by the window one time, doubles back, and there it is, another ghost sighting. Look again though, and you'll see it was actually standing in the window the entire time. This could be a shadow person, a djinn, or one of their friends wearing a cloak. They claim it was a ghost, but I'm not sure. A YouTuber named Flare is left shaken after a fishing trip goes wrong, and you'll never guess how. It's a clear day when they hit the lake, but after a while, dark clouds soon roll in. Flare and his friend are too busy catching fish to notice a sudden shift. That's when nature tells him it's time to go back indoors. His line pops with static. Lightning has struck the lake somewhere and sent a jolt through them both. One of them gets into the water to tie the boat off, a risky move in my opinion. He's out of the water again before lightning strikes twice. I'm glad they both appear to be unharmed. But talk about a close call. A YouTuber named Tret uploaded this scary moment in Russia that has people wondering what it could possibly be. He looks down a boarded up well in the middle of the forest and sees a scary face in the dark. This could be a weird creature sighting or a ghost sighting depending on how you look at it. To be more realistic though, I see the head of a turtle. The blue eyes are weird though, so maybe that's not it at all. It looks like this person is trying to do some repairs on their car. Maybe something's wrong with the air conditioning. Then I realize it's not a repair, it's a removal. A large snake appears to have crawled inside of the car, and the only way to get rid of it is through a game of reptilian tug-of-war. They struggle for almost 2 minutes, and lucky for him, the snake is too exhausted to strike when he drops it at 1 minute 45 seconds. Most people look for loose change while others have to look for loose snakes. This is definitely something I wasn't expecting. It goes to show you never really know what's lurking in your car.
I heard someone crying in that hallway over there. I think it was the ghost girl, guys.
Down the hallway is a little ghost girl who is said to haunt this house at night and sob. I don't know what that noise was, more of a whisper than crying, like something paranormal is speaking to him in strange tongues. But I want to know what you hear. Here it is again.
Dude. What was that?
When scary voices are whispering from the corner of a dark room in the middle of the night, it's time to make a fast exit. He could be moments away from a possession. Dogman sightings are being caught on tape more often than ever. Here are 2 separate Dogman encounters taken by different people years apart that are remarkably similar. The first video was taken in 2015 after a neighbor noticed all the fruit had been picked from their apple and pear trees. It's late at night when this large creature with a broad face and beady white eyes comes up to the window for a closer look. It looks like the window is probably 7 or 8 feet from the ground. Judging from the lamppost across the way, this creature looks tall enough to reach up and pick fruit from a tree. Apparently all of the food outside has been eaten, and now they're thinking about coming in. I'm surprised at the lack of detail showing because it's standing in the light, so I'm not sure if this is fake. It looks like it wants to climb in but thinks better of it and eventually walks away. Real or fake? That video looks similar to a different Dogman encounter years later. In this sighting, a mysterious creature watches from a window late at night, same as before. It has beady white eyes and on its head are 2 pointy ears, the signature trademark of a Dogman sighting. This creature looks smaller than the other one, but its behavior is the same. It stares inside for a long time and then slinks away, and based on the sound it makes, whatever this creature is, it's far from human. A YouTuber named BatBatBox and his friend are all geared up and ready to do some serious exploring down a drainage tunnel that runs deep beneath the streets in Norway. Recent rains raise the water up to their knees, and a storm surge could leave them over their heads in a moment's notice. Many small side passages tempt them, but the rising water makes it too risky. They soon reach an impasse in the form of a fallen tree that quickly brings their exploration to a close. But just as the 2 friends are having a quick conversation about what to do next, a third party joins in. Something calls from the other side of the clogged pipe. A weird noise in their words, but definitely a scared human voice in my opinion. It doesn't make any other noise or ask for help, and when they try to find the source, it's gone. The tunnel is empty except for them, or so they think. All they find is this weird, large glove with sharpened fingers left behind, an iron claw in their words, like something a madman would wear. and when the passage they were looking down earlier begins to churn out a murky gray substance, they get out of there quick before anything else gets a chance to appear. That's a lot of unexplained events that have happened in one tunnel. Mysteries I don't think they were ready to solve. Maybe they heard someone's last moments before being taken away down that small passage, and whatever was down there was probably coming for them next. A creepy tunnel creature caught on camera in 2011 remains an unexplained mystery to this day. A service technician is exploring a tunnel via maintenance robot when this creature, whose origins are unknown, suddenly runs by on CCTV video. I did some more investigating and can confirm this particular creature sighting is real. It was originally posted by a water company in the UK called United Utilities. United Utilities has been making professional corporate videos for over 10 years and looks legit as can be. Also, Raynor Street is an actual street in the small English town of Ashton-under-Lyne where they operate, so it all seems to check out. While I can say this video is real, I can't identify exactly what this fleeting figure really is. It moves too fast to be human, yet it walks upright, and the sewer technician thought he saw a tail too, which to be honest I don't see. Anyway, there's only 2 miles of twisting pipe down here, with nothing to live on. So is this a haunted tunnel or what? A YouTuber named Josh Washi is exploring an abandoned building that he suspects is haunted. Long ago this was a school, but now is little more than a crumbling collection of rickety rooms waiting for a closer look. He and his group somehow make it all the way to the attic without falling through the floor. Hidden at the far end is a door to an unknown room that makes them nervous. His friend Nate goes to open it, and that's when the urban exploration goes wrong.
No, 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 that door just opened by itself. That door just opened by itself.
At 3 minutes and 52 seconds, you can see Nate comes very close to touching the door, but ultimately does not, and is in fact moving away from the door when it mysteriously opens like a ghost is near. I think this video is real based on one thing. They were really worried about falling through the floor until they saw the door open and took off running, which could have gone very wrong. Larry Glow has a haunted home that keeps him on edge at all times. He records down the hallway because a ghost is down there. He's sure of it. I'm not sure what he is saying and needs your help to fully understand.
Lo que está pasando. Yo sé que yo escuché algo por aquí. Esto está jodón, esta vaina aquí.
He hears a loud noise from behind as the ghost walks past and touches a light. The living room is where he experiences the most paranormal activity, so there's already a second camera all set up. Here is the same scary moment from a different angle. As you can see, he hears a bang, turns around, and that's when this stuffed animal gets possessed. Is someone pulling strings off camera, or are these objects moving on their own? This unsolved CCTV video shows a man struggling to drag something heavy down the steps late at night. As he makes a turn, you can see he's pulling a black bag that's quite large out of view. While this is happening, somebody who is staying late at the office happens to see him, which is how I guess this videotape was reported and later archived for further investigation. Nothing else happens until 42 minutes later when the incident repeats itself. The creepy man drags another mysterious black bag down the steps and out the door. At 10 seconds, you get a better look and it definitely looks like a garbage bag to me. I really hope that this person wasn't dragging 2 people out, but that's exactly what it looks like happens. Maybe there's a good alternate explanation, but I have no idea why this guest would wait until the middle of the night to remove these objects from his room and never return. This home surveillance footage from 2009 shows the Jameson family acting strangely on their property in Eufaula, Oklahoma shortly before they disappeared. They can be seen making about 20 trips to and from their house without talking to each other at all. Some investigators even believe they were in a trance-like state. The Jamesons were not seen again for years until hunters found their scattered remains in 2014. No one knows what happened to them because their remains were too decomposed for forensic testing. The cause of their demise has never and probably will never be determined, so all that remains of their last days is this videotape. A YouTuber named Goodnote is exploring the Illinois countryside when he stumbles upon a secluded burial ground in the middle of nowhere. He instantly recognizes this place as the Witch's Circle, a nefarious hangout where certain people have been known to practice black magic and summon spirits. Goodnote breaks out his drone for a better look, but the wind seems to mysteriously pick up every time he tries to take flight. I personally don't see anything out of the ordinary here, but let me know if you do. Anyway, there's another video that he took on foot that I'm way more interested in. He shot this at the beginning of the visit. He's walking up to the entrance and says he got a really weird feeling. Then his phone's battery goes from 52% to 0 and suddenly shuts off. What's even weirder is how, no matter how hard he tries, he can't seem to upload this video onto any other mobile device. It plays perfectly fine on his phone and nothing else. The only way he was able to get it on YouTube was by filming the screen with another camera. I tried not to make assumptions without having enough evidence, but it's almost as if something really didn't want to be seen or shared with us on that gray, overcast day. Here's a strange dashcam video from Malaysia that will leave you scratching your head. These motorists are on a dark road when they pass by a woman in a pink shirt once, and then again, a little farther up the road, and a third time, at which point they are noticeably alarmed and speed away, only to run straight into her a fourth and final time. Watch the full video and you'll see that they are not driving in a circle. Even if they were driving in a circle, there's no way they could have completed a full lap in the short time it takes for the woman to appear again. Perhaps what's most unsettling about this is how each time the woman's back is turned to them, never once seeing her face. Cora MK2 is a serious motorcycle enthusiast with a YouTube channel detailing his many road adventures. One night he is biking across a normal looking bridge in Pasadena, California. When he sees something particularly unsettling, be sure to watch the right side or you'll miss it. You might have missed it anyway, so here it is again.
This girl right here, she's just standing there. She's not walking, she's just standing there, and you can't really...
It's important to note that the replay was not edited. After I knew where to look, I was able to go back to the original footage and see her easily. Cora MK2 says that the girl was smiling, though the camera isn't able to pick up the details of her face. Apparently, so many people have taken their lives on this bridge that it's gotten to a point where they had to install fences as a deterrent. Perhaps this girl was either contemplating taking her life or was the spirit of someone who already has. This driver in Singapore is just listening to some music when the taxi in front of him has a car problem from out of this world. Some sort of sentient and aggressive mist enters through the window and forces the taxi driver to pull over. You can see the inside of the cab light up a few times as some sort of paranormal altercation ensues. It could be CGI, but the video ends abruptly, so it looks like we won't know what really happened or if everyone inside was okay or not. This huge wall of security monitors shows that everything in this building is silent and still, except for a single sign going haywire. I've seen signs twisting around from the air conditioning before, but this looks a little different. The back and forth swaying seems very deliberate, almost as if an invisible force is hanging off of it. I don't have much more information about this video, aside from it taking place somewhere in Singapore. Let me know what you think of it. A motorcyclist named Motor 2 Wrist is biking through India when he misses his turn and gets lost. Now it's threatening to rain and his bike's narrow high beams are his only source of light. Motor to wrist is already close to losing his composure when he sees something that pushes him completely over the edge. Some stranger rushes at him from the side of the road. Keep in mind that it's 10 at night and there's apparently no villages around for miles. The pedestrian would have to be out of their mind to travel down a dark road in bad weather without so much as a flashlight to guide their way. Moto to wrist is positive that he's seen a ghost and quickly speeds off, though it might have been someone in distress. We'll never know what the situation was for sure, but I'd like to get your opinion nonetheless. A driver in Singapore thinks they have a clear lane ahead when something to the right startles them badly enough to make them lay on their horn. The pale outline of a woman appears to be perfectly balanced on the center divider. While this could just be a person trying to cross a busy road, the driver is convinced that they've seen a ghost. Even if this is a person and not a spirit, I really don't know why they would choose to cross this section of the road. Aside from heavy traffic, there's really nothing but a tall hill on the other side and no discernible buildings of any kind. It's late at night and YouTuber Molly the Leg is the only car on the road. When he sees something that doesn't make sense, follow the curvature of the road and look in the distance to see it.
Was that?
What?
I saw somebody on a bicycle or something like that.
Up ahead, Molly the Leg sees a bright light cross the road and then suddenly disappear. What's also strange is how the street lights start flickering when this happens. He has no idea what the moving light was. It couldn't have been a car because there was nowhere for vehicles to go but straight. Molly the Leg even used Google Maps to verify this. So I'm at a complete loss. A YouTuber named Phoenix is alone in the woods trying to record nature sounds for an ASMR channel when everything goes wrong in the scariest way possible. A scary loud scream from deep in the woods has Phoenix running and later wondering what this unknown creature could be. No native animal makes that sound, he says, though for some reason it kind of sounds like a goose or something like that, and there's water nearby before the scream occurs, so a bird could be exactly what this mysterious creature is. Tell me if you know what kind of scream this was, and how much danger was Phoenix really in during this scary moment. An investigator from the Liberty Independent Ghost Hunters of Texas is exploring the haunted old Lavaca jail when they capture some scary stuff happening right in front of their camera.
What the? Are you for real?
A paranormal mist fills the room and it's not his breath because it comes from off to the side, not in front of him. Also at 48 seconds the colors dim and the camera blurs as if trying to focus on a ghostly presence. The Texas ghost hunter is freaked out and doesn't stick around to see what comes after the paranormal mist and ghost orbs. I've seen a lot of paranormal investigations before and something about this one looks real. I think he was really scared and had a genuine paranormal experience. This odd and mysterious sighting in the sky has been viewed online by hundreds of people who have been unable to provide a proper explanation. The strange object floats from behind a tree and travels very fast. The oddly long shape does not look like a drone sighting to me, and it doesn't have any lights or identifying features. It's too far away to tell what it is for sure, but at the same time, it's close enough to tell that it's beyond creepy. This strange creature sighting while exploring an abandoned house deserves more attention and a closer analysis. An urban explorer is walking down the hallway when they see a small black object move in response to being caught on camera. It looks like an unknown creature at first. I can make out the reflective surface of what could be an eye, but it kind of looks like somebody is moving like a stuffed animal or something. Most people in the comments are saying that strange creatures are known to hide in abandoned buildings and believe this video is real. Only a very small amount of people seem to think this is flat out fake, so I was wondering what you think of this video. I think it could be real, but I'd be more willing to believe that this is a kid's doll moving on its own, which is just as creepy as a real creature sighting would be, if not creepier. A ghost hunting YouTube channel called Paranormal Nightmares captures some weird things on live stream in the laundry room of a haunted basement. The ghost hunting team is not even in the room when a heavy object falls to the basement floor all by itself. The live stream audience is already freaking out, and that's when a scary voice is caught on video whispering "pardon" shortly before knocking the camera over. I wish they had more than one camera set up so that we could see if a ghost moves these objects. Overall, there isn't quite enough paranormal evidence to fully convince me, but it is an interesting video to think about, and since a lot of people who were watching it at the time seem like they were afraid, then I guess there is a chance that this scary moment caught on live stream really happened. A viral TikTok video has millions wondering what kind of paranormal activity is going on at Holly Armstrong 20's haunted house. I guess she must have heard weird noises from her closet or something, because this scary moment caught on camera is terrifying.
Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my...
The creepy doll moves all by itself, first clicking its tiny heels together and then lifting one shoe in the air. It looks like a weird paranormal moment, but I think I have this bizarre video figured out. Okay, pretend this red line is a string. They could have tied it to the doll's feet and then stretched it across the open door so that somebody could make it look like the doll's moving from off camera. So while this TikTok video looks like it's beyond creepy, I don't think it's necessarily paranormal, or at least I really hope not.
Just like lights. Some sort of paranormal activity.
This gym could be haunted according to Coach Megan, who is making a video of her backhand spring when she sees what she describes as a little blue light on the speaker, almost like a camera flash, except she is by herself, so nobody could have taken it. 2 seconds later, a floating white anomaly travels towards her in the mirror and then mysteriously disappears, only to resurface 2 seconds afterwards as a strange white light streaking down from behind. After reviewing the evidence, I honestly can't tell if this scary moment is a camera glitch, edited, or truly paranormal, but since the video is pretty good quality, I think it's probably more likely real than not.
Anything that's gonna scare you is just like lights. Some sort of paranormal activity.
A YouTuber named Saltwater Sean is exploring underwater in Lower Prospect, Nova Scotia, Canada, when he makes a startling discovery that has him holding back a frightened scream. Dolls, freaky ones. He can hardly stand looking at these dolls long enough to capture them on video. I think I might see them moving ever so slightly, but it could be the wind that's moving the dolls.
We've got these two super creepy dolls that scared me underwater when I found that one on the right there. That really kind of gave me a scare.
I probably unearthed an ancient curse or something, Sean writes in the description of this scary video. Judging by the evil stare of these two pale creepy dolls, one with red eyes and the others being jet black, I think he could be correct about that curse. Somebody probably threw them in the water for a reason is all I'm saying. This haunting video of a woman in a cemetery is creepy beyond all belief. She thinks she's alone and the cemetery looks as empty as can be, but somewhere a child is heard screaming. She never shows what's going on in front of her, but that's because the screams are clearly coming from behind. She aims the camera down that way and only finds row after row of markers. No one is there, and yet the scary voices prevail. This one has to be paranormal in my opinion. A YouTuber named Low Tech is a racing enthusiast who finds himself running from the cops after a drag race goes wrong. Here you can see his opponent pulls over while Low Tech decides to keep going, or at least that's what I think is happening. Let me know if you see something different. Low Tech turns the corner and quickly hides behind the dumpster of a warehouse. He stays there for an hour before escaping with his freedom. After watching this video, I certainly think he could have gotten in trouble for posting the video online. Though considering the video is from 2017, it appears Low Tech didn't get in trouble for the footage. A YouTuber named 4Rizzy Crizzy is taking a vacation in the African country of Botswana when their boat guide gets a little too close to a mother hippo and her offspring. First, the mother disappears under the water with little more than a small splash. Then she comes up with a much larger one.
Was that the warning? Oh!
The tour group immediately knows they're not safe and hits the engine. They stop running for a moment to see if it's safe. Everyone is laughing except for the tour guide, who knows that a hippo can easily keep up with a boat, especially when it thinks its young are in danger. The final lunge is way too close for comfort.
Holy crap!
Considering that hippos can capsize a boat with little problem and have one of the worst bites known to man, I think this YouTuber didn't realize how serious this situation truly was until later. A YouTuber and his friends explore an unknown sewer system deep underground. They laugh and joke their way down an oversized pipe when it gives way to a maze of tunnels with graffiti on cement walls. At one point they find a pile of clothes and mounds of trash. Someone clearly lives down here, but they curiously press forward to see what's next. They visited the sewer before, but now they are down deeper than they've ever dared to go. After a while, they see another flashlight in the distance.
Hello? Oh, you guys. What?
Hello? Excuse me, sir?
No one responds and the light soon fades away. After 18 minutes and 5 seconds of exploring, the tunnel finally opens up into a room, and they find the person from before. There's a big commotion and many voices talking at once. At 8 minutes and 16 seconds, you can hear a much deeper voice say something like, "Get out." Let me know if you hear it.
We are.
They quickly obey and sprint out of the tunnel, hopefully to never return again. Maybe the person living down there saw that they were recording and decided to give them a pass instead of taking their lives. Fallon Taylor is a YouTuber who got the scare of a lifetime while competitively riding. She has almost finished a timed run when a surprised audience member points to something off camera. Less than 4 seconds later, a huge white bull breaks free from its pen and nearly collides with Fallon Taylor and her horse. Watch again and you'll see how close Fallon comes to getting knocked clean off. She barely dodges the bull by a few feet and makes it back to the safety of the horse pen. At first, I thought the perspective made the event look exaggerated, but Fallon later says she had to put her arm out and could almost touch the bull. I definitely believe her, but I'd like to know how close you thought the bull was when you first saw this video. A YouTuber named JD Gaming and 4 friends explore a nearby abandoned nursing home. They are hesitant to approach the building because they keep thinking they see movement inside, but they convince themselves that it's just their nerves and head through the doors. Sitting on the front counter, they spot some toothpaste and what could be food of some kind. Let me know what it is he's pointing at on the right here. Whatever it is, they probably should have left as soon as they found these items, because chances are someone is on their way back if they aren't already inside. They instead decide to walk around the perimeter of the building one more time before getting out of there. JD Gaming is busy pointing at something else when out of the corner of his eye, he sees movement by the far side of the fence and whirls around.
Oh, that's what...
It's hard to make out at first, but look closely and you'll see what appears to be a person jumping the fence to confront them. He's wearing a red hoodie and kind of blends in. I do see what JD Gaming is talking about, but I'm not sure if this is a person, a tree, or the red tin roof of a shed. Real or not, the group quickly turns around and runs away 3 times faster than they came. A YouTuber named Justin Gansberg is sawing trees with his crew when he notices one starts to wobble his way. As for reference, this small shadow marks where Justin was standing at the time. This gives Justin roughly 5 seconds to approximate where the tree is going to land and move accordingly. With no time to spare, Justin drops his camera and picks a spot just a few feet away. It's more or less a total guess. It turns out to be the luckiest guess of his life. As you can see, the tree lands directly on top of his camera, with Justin barely running away in time. If he had froze under the pressure, which I think a lot of people would have, then he would have been directly in the path of a 100-foot falling tree. A London vacation goes from romantic to horrifying for a YouTube channel called YouTube Vlogs when everyone begins running at once at a train station. You can feel the panic taking over as multiple people shout the same questions without any clear answer. YouTube Vlogs separates from the stampeding crowd and escapes only by scrambling over a dumpster and climbing a fence to safety. Notice how only younger people are able to do this. Those less mobile were sadly left behind in the chaos. It later turns out that the evacuation was caused after a vapor device accidentally blew up inside of someone's suitcase. It's crazy to think how a tiny malfunction could have caused thousands of people to run for their lives. If everyone had somehow remained calm, maybe more information about this event could have been passed on instead of panicking. A YouTuber named V-Croc and his friends attract the attention of an angry local, a man who is known for taking his bad temper out on others. He starts by throwing rocks at V-Croc, though judging from the small clang they make against the fence, I doubt they are large enough to cause any real damage. Soon he returns with even larger stones that he has gathered from the parking lot across the street. He is filled with so much rage that even his free hand is balled into a fist. I'm honestly not sure who is to blame here, or who even started this whole event, but at one point a fast food employee comes out and seems to take Jeremy's side. You can see Jeremy appears to be the one trying to walk away. Later in the day they meet again, and this time V-Croc appears to be alone. Jeremy starts to walk away at first, but then he decides to get revenge for earlier.
What are you gonna do?
I think V-Croc might be playing around, but Jeremy appears very serious and possibly not in the right head as he charges forward. Judging from the extreme anger in his voice, I have little doubt he would have tried his best to hurt this YouTuber had he not managed to run away. After a day of poking around an abandoned asylum turns up nothing of interest, a YouTuber named Abandoned Explorer and his friends are leaving when an SUV comes close to running them over. Out steps an aggressive older man, who first admits to putting them in danger, and then kicks over their camera.
Alright, the police should come in. You tried running me down? I did run you down. I'm trying to put that out. I'll put it out first.
Here it looks like he is getting back into his car to drive away, but look closely and you'll see he is actually rummaging around the back seat for something.
He's got a gun!
Yes, he's got a gun. Yeah.
That's when the group realize what it is he's reaching for. It's hard to say how much trouble they were truly in based on the way he used his car against them. I also have little doubt that this man would have also used a piece if they had stayed instead of run. A YouTuber named King Fresh is hanging out with his crew at a wild and crazy underground car rally. Burnouts and donuts fill the parking lot for a long time until it gets late and most of the drivers go home. Those who remain have more space to do even crazier maneuvers than ever before. Still, none of them could have been prepared for what this sports car does next.
Oh, we got a Mustang right here in the wild. What do you guys think? You like it or no? Oh! Oh! Oh!
A Mustang charges straight towards the small group for no real reason other than to show off. I think they might lose control though, because at 8 minutes and 5 seconds you can see it was about to plow straight into King Fresh. The headlights are pointed straight at him and he barely steps out of the way. These guys were wandering through the forest when they encountered someone who at first appeared lost, but after a moment they realized something was very wrong.
Has he got any hands? You alright, mate?
Hello, mate.
He's got something in his hand.
Whoa, why have you got an axe?
Down, mate. Come on, lower it down.
After this strange encounter, the boys follow the crazy man's rubbish to its hiding place.
Be cautious, Luke. The roof looks like it's about to collapse.
Georgie.
That's not rubbish, bro.
Figure, ain't it? Hello?
When they realize it's a person, and a living person at that, they start to unravel the bag and the mystery.
Fag. He's alive, bro. He's alive. He's alive.
Where's he gone?
Is he gone?
What? Did he take you?
What was this Axeman going to do with this boy?
What's that? There was someone. What is that? He's back, bro. He's back.
After this most recent encounter, we could probably guess. The Camino de la Muerte, or Road of Fate, lies in Bolivia along a 50-mile rocky narrow downhill road. The pass is so dangerous that the Inter-American Development Bank deemed it the most dangerous in the world in 1995. Somewhere between 200 to 300 people perish each year on this road. In this video, a bus driver attempts to traverse it to his own detriment. The road, which had recently suffered heavy rain, was prone to landslides, making the crossing even riskier business than usual. After ordering his passengers off the bus for safety's sake, they watch in terror as the driver attempts to creep across a very shaky and crumbling stretch of sand and rock, one that should not be crossed. The passengers attempt to help guide him, with one man in the video moving forward to motion that the driver move further away from the edge. It appears as if the bus will be successful in completing this crossing, but suddenly the ground crumbles beneath it and the bus tips, falling over the cliff, through the trees and down the mountain. While it's fortunate that the 50 passengers survived their devastating journey, sadly their driver did not. 3 friends bravely choose to summon Bloody Mary, while one of their parents records. They recite her name 3 times in the mirror, and when nothing happens, they decide that the legend is a bust. The dad makes fun of them for a little bit, and they go on with their day.
I guess now we know that Mary Worth doesn't like you.
According to them, it wasn't until much later that they actually looked at the video and noticed some strange occurrences that made them upload it onto YouTube. Look at the countertop in the upper left-hand corner.
Oh please, come on now. Well, other ideas?
I don't know, other ideas of how to get her to jump out of the mirror at us.
Maybe it takes a little longer.
Like how long?
I don't know, a couple minutes.
The candle appears to move by itself on at least 2 separate occasions. I guess it could have been magnets, but I really don't understand how. It's important to add that they were all picking the candles up to light them just a moment earlier, and nothing was hidden underneath. Give me your best guess as to how they moved these candles. Or better yet, tell me if you think it was Bloody Mary who was moving them. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by A Growing Lotus, filmed in the Inland Empire in Southern California, this redditor suspects these lights are a part of an unidentified flying object. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Is there 3 of them?
Yeah, it's like 3. What is that? But then, Mom, stars? What the heck is?
Keep recording it, because that is weird. And the way they're moving, like up and down, airplanes don't do that. Airplanes don't move up and down like that.
And it's not a drone either.
What? The other one's kind of disappearing.
There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Adventurous ad 2736 wondered if they were paper lanterns, to which the uploader responded saying, "They move too fast up and down and I don't think paper lanterns can do that." And Faded Claws YT wrote, "It's probably just those drones people use for light shows and stuff," to which the uploader responded saying, "They didn't look like drones in person, but who knows? They were extremely bright. You can't tell in the video unfortunately, and they disappeared eventually. So which side are you on here? Paper lanterns, drones, or a legit unidentified flying object? Let me know in the comments."
I thought I was hallucinating at first.
And that one, the other one's like already
Disappearing. I'm having like a really weird deja vu feeling.
Just go away now.
But the other one's kind of disappearing. Did they just disappear? That's the first one.
There's one right there. There's two on that side.
When the paranormal team Cazadores de Sombras went to investigate this ritual site, what they found was a living nightmare. As they approached the site, they find what appears to be a body levitating high above a fire pit.
Que é isso aí, galera?
They later hear something in the surrounding woods.
Sai, mano. Os caras vindo. Os caras gritando, velho. Os caras gritando lá.
Now, back in the safety of their vehicle, they're left to ponder what their eyes saw. Without context, it's difficult to know what's going on here. Is this person being levitated by some dark magic? And for what purpose? I can't provide any insight on this one, but I do know that I'm super creeped out by the events here. Rain pouring in an abandoned railway house in the middle of nowhere. The scene is set for terror. Published to YouTube in August of 2020, Exploring with Danny follows Danny and Luke wandering through the forest in the stormy darkness. They finally arrive at the abandoned railway house, which looks undoubtedly haunted with the lightning flashing ominously overhead. Once inside, they begin exploring. Everything is torn apart. Windows are boarded up, graffiti on the wall. Danny claims that back in the 1800s, more than 30 people passed away on the railway line outside the house. Those are shoes abandoned on the stairs. They head up to the second floor. In the bedrooms upstairs, there are still clothes hanging on the wardrobe. Danny asks any spirit to make itself known by giving a bang or closing a door. He might regret asking. They head down the hallway and find a strong lock on the door. A piece of the door has been broken clean off. They enter the room and it looks like someone has been living there. A wardrobe stands in the corner. As they look around the room, suddenly the wardrobe is pushed aggressively over, revealing a woman dressed in white. With a pale face and dark hair hidden in the corner, she starts to approach them. Needless to say, the explorers scream and flee the scene as though their lives depend on it, because they do.
What's wrong? Can you hear that thunder? What's that noise? Probably rats.
A YouTuber named Jerry Wells and a housemate sit across from each other while playing with a Ouija board. Apparently, they have been experiencing strange paranormal disturbances around the home for some time, and now they're turning to the Ouija board for answers.
We're going to try to find out what's in this house. I don't know how else to try to contact it. We've got to find out what it wants. I'm going to see if I can get it to leave us alone.
Look closely and you can see the board quivering unnaturally as they speak.
Or tell us what you want, what it'll take to leave me and my family and our home alone, and never return. We're tired of this. Just tell us what you want.
Jerry Wells asks what it wants, and BLOOD is the reply, followed by a metaphysical reaction.
What do you mean blood? What do you want? Come on now.
Oh my God, Tommy!
Son of a...
If this is fake, then I have no idea how they did this. You can clearly see underneath the table the entire time, so it's not magnets, and I don't see a string either. If you don't believe this is paranormal, then let me know how they managed to make the board shake and jump straight into the air. Published to YouTube by Proving Demons in May of 2020. You might want to call your local exorcist after watching this video. The uploader explains that the house they entered is known to have been the site of an exorcism, and they were exploring it to capture paranormal activity. He writes, while experiencing heavy poltergeist activity, I could feel the demon inside trying to possess me as it did the previous owner, who is now insane in a mental institution. From that point, our ghost hunt took a turn for the worst. Let's take that turn with them. After hiking up to the abandoned building and entering through a crawl hole, the crew finds the inside looks like a surreal art shed. Colorful paper lanterns hang, arrows are pointing every which way, all natural light in the place is framed by gothic windows. At first, the general aura of the place is curious rather than creepy. There are lots of scraps of paper posted to a board, a large map, a guitar hanging on one wall. As one YouTuber, Lavender Rainbow, points out, there's a pamphlet on the wall later in the clip at 16 minutes 29 seconds that reads, Bipolar Disorder Survival Guide. So maybe the person living here was trying to seek psychiatric help. You find yourself wishing you were there, so you might examine things up close and learn more. But then the crew hears a woman screaming. They head towards a back room, with one of the dudes mentioning that they hadn't even made sure they were alone in this building. In fact, the building looks very lived in, not abandoned. There's what looks like a bed in the next room with blankets on it, a full backpack beside it, clothes hanging. Are they alone? He continues into the next room, hearing others inside, but it turns out just to be his own crew. You can hear a lot of sounds and things moving, like there are animals on the roof. Next, the door closes behind him by itself. They use the EVP to see if anyone's there in the home with them. The quick reply is yes. They also hear the words demon, as well as a warning, get out now. The demon tells them they have no right to be there. Andrew says he's starting to feel affected and his hands are shaking. And moments later, something falls off the shelf. Even scarier are the Polaroids that they find of what appears to be an authentic exorcism or ritual of some sort. What do you think went on in this makeshift cathedral of a home? A possession? Would you feel comfortable in the demon's skin? Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.